name is Tamara, and this is episode 41 of the Caffeinated Craft Mamas podcast. My podcast all about my knitting, crocheting, and bookish life in Southwest Missouri, where I live with my partner Richard, our 3 kids, and our dog. Hope you all are doing well. It has been 2 weeks since I have seen you. I probably sound a little nasally. We had a storm come through on July 4th, and ever since then there's something outside I'm allergic to. That I guess the storm blew in. I don't know. It is about 12:30 in the afternoon on July 6th. It's Saturday. I broke my Fitbit, so I don't have the date and the time anymore. And I am drinking a coffee because William woke up at 5 o'clock and I stayed up until 2 o'clock in the morning reading, so I'm really tired. Mistakes were made, but we don't regret them. All right. So I have a quick what am I wearing? I've got 2 finished objects to show you guys and a bunch of whips, including one that had gone to the bottom of the whip pile and I have dug it back out, and we will talk about that. I also have several books to talk about. I listened to several books or read several books in the last 2 weeks, and a little bit of a life update. So we're going to go ahead and get started with what am I wearing? I am wearing my Clearly hoodie by Elizabeth Margaret Designs. This is a pattern I test knit several years ago. Like I said, I'm really tired today. I'm not feeling great. And so this is kind of my comfort hoodie, and it was cooler here yesterday. It was like 82 degrees. And it was like in the mid 60s when I woke up this morning. And so I put on a tank top and I put this on for a little bit. We'll see if I make it through the whole podcast with it on. I may not. Who knows? All right, so I will also do where you can find me. You really can only find me over on Instagram. I am the caffeinated_craft_mama. And I am over there probably about 1 to 2 times a week where I post pictures about what I am doing yarny-wise in my life. We will also talk about, or I guess I can just talk about it now. I am getting ready to open up an Etsy shop. I thought I had already opened it and I messed something up. Big shocker there. So Richard's going to help me with all the computer side of that to get that set up, so I can get my bags up. I don't have any of them with me, but I'll throw a picture up here of a couple of them and let you guys know when the shop does open over on Instagram, and then hopefully by next time I see you guys, it will definitely be open. I just really enjoy making bags, and I have found some really cool fabric for bags, and so I just want to take a little bit of the money that I'm putting into making all the bags to get back. So I sold my first one too. My friend Lindsay bought one, and it was very exciting. She bought one of these, but a smaller one. Okay, so let's talk about some finished objects. I have 2 entries into summer sock camp. My first is my A Quart of Socks. This yarn is by Desert Vista Dye Works, and I am so happy with these. I did these a little different than I normally do. I did my normal Judy Becker's Magic Cast On for 20 stitches. I increased to 60 stitches because I was doing 9-inch circulars for these. I did my normal heel turn and heel flap and gusset that I like to do, but I made the socks a lot longer. Typically for my socks, I do a 40 row leg. I did a 55 row leg on these, and then I did a 20 row cuff instead of 15. And I think that's going to be my new long sock recipe. I really like how these fit, and they're just beautiful. I will pop a picture in here of one of the socks turned inside out because I had so many ends to weave in. And like, I don't know why I thought, so Amber was like, you need to weave them in as you go. And I'm like, isn't that really hard? And she sent me a video, and it's like the easiest thing ever. If you've never looked up Stephen West, Weaving Stephen, what you do with your ends, like, I don't know why I expected this to be so hard. It really wasn't. It's literally just knit a stitch, wrap your tail around your working yarn, knit a stitch, wrap your tail around your working yarn. Like, I spent probably 2 hours, maybe more, weaving in ends on these socks, and I could have just done them as I went. So Most of that was because I had to reorder the stripes because they were wrong, and it made me sad. So yeah, there we are. And I'm going to take these off the blockers because I have another pair of socks that are done. Richard's birthday is a week from Monday, so I already have one pair of socks for him. And now I have two. Contemplating tossing a third on the needles and seeing if I can get them done by his birthday. We'll see. If I do, they'll be shorties. But this is Nitpicks Felici in the colorway Arcade Afternoon. These were done on Magic Loop, US 1, and the Desert Vista Dye Works were done on US 0s on 9-inch circulars. I do have a US 1 9-inch circular as well. I think I have a sock on those. I'm really enjoying the 9-inch circulars, but I also still love my Magic Loop. And now that I have both, it gives me even more socks that I can have whips. So, yep, there are another pair of socks for him. So I will toss those in the gift basket when I am done recording. Put my sock blockers down. I misplaced these and could not find them, and then I found them today before we started recording. So those are all my finished objects. I'm really horrible about using Ravelry, but I will try to pop those in there so I can enter them for summer sock camp. And then I didn't say what I was drinking. I said I was drinking coffee, but I didn't tell you guys what kind. It's just regular coffee, and then I buy the Silk oatmeal cookie creamer. I'll pop a picture in here. If you like oat milk, you will love this creamer. It is my favorite oat milk creamer that they have by far. It's just so good, and I don't need a lot of it like I do with regular creamer. I use a lot less oat milk creamer than I do dairy creamer. So, all right. I guess we'll just go with what is nearest me. Well, I better go in that order I wrote them. Okay, so first up is my Ashoka shawl. It is living in my R2-D2 bag that I made. And I've gotten some pretty good progress on this, you guys. The lace gave me a fit. It was rough. I got messed up, and I realized this lace is one that I have to read it out loud as I'm knitting it because they're very long repeats. It's probably 20-25 stitch repeats, even though you just repeat them twice. So I got one lace section completely done. This is where I was last time. So it looks really cool. I will move this puppy up here. So I'm ready for a garter panel on that wing. We've decided to just call these wings. I mean, that's a Star Wars shawl. And I will have to see if I can find the person on Instagram. Someone made a red and black version of this. Oh my God. It was gorgeous. I kind of need one now. I think it was Valkyrie Fibers, maybe? I don't know. I'll find the picture. And then I got like 4 rows done of this. So I'm trying to do roughly 4 rows a day if I can. This isn't a have to project, this is a want to. So I just pick this up if I can, but I literally have to read the pattern out loud to myself. Like I have to pause my audiobook or pause my YouTube video. Come on, quit splitting the yarn. Sorry, I'm splitting the yarn here. These progress keepers are by Twin Mountain Handcrafts. They're hard to see, but he's a little stegosaurus. So there we are on both of those. That pattern is by Lesley and Robinson, if I didn't say that before. I really am enjoying it. I have 3 or 4 more sections on each wing, and then I will do the bottom and the top, and it will be done. I don't know if this will be done by summer. I'm kind of aiming for it to be done by the end of the year. So we will see, but I'm trying to do a lot of the projects that take a lot of thought and get them finished before I go back to work on August 15th. So we'll see how many I actually get done. Up next is a shawl or a sweater I had no business starting, but you know. So Wool and Pine Designs came out with a sea glass cardigan. I'll pop a photo in here. And I got to thinking about it, and Amber and I were texting each other about it, and I was like, you know, I have so many Fangirl Fibers scraps between doodle cowls that I've done for her and stuff that I've purchased from her. I'm like, how beautiful would a Fangirl Fibers sea glass cardigan be? Let me tell you guys, it's beautiful. Look at this. Look at this. These are my days I've done so far. Isn't it gorgeous? It's just gorgeous. I love it. It is on hold right now for a couple of reasons. We'll talk about that in a second. But you do this like faux steeking. So all of these little squirrely ends are going to be tucked under there, and I won't have to weave them in. Guys, I don't have to weave these in. How exciting is that? So yeah, I am waiting because I realized some of these colors. What I did was I took a photo of all the Fangirl Fiber scraps I had, and then I changed it to black and white, and I separated the yarn darks and lights. And it's a 1-to-1 color work pattern, and I'm doing darks, one dark and one light on each row. And then I'm just grabbing them randomly. So each color, like these are my lights. So these are the ones I have yet to use. These are the ones I've used so far. I move them as I use them. When this bag is full, I put everything back in this one. It's just the easiest way for my brain to keep all of this organized. But I was realizing that some scraps I have are very small, while other scraps are larger. So I messaged Emily, and I am waiting to see if she can dye me up another of the Monster Doodle Cowl kit. I'll pop a photo in here of the colors. You can kind of see, because those are the ones that I didn't have a lot of, and I love them. And I didn't want to run out and then have like the bottom half of the cardigan and the sleeves not have any of these gorgeous colors in them. Excuse me. So I'm waiting to hear back when she's going to dye some of those, and I'm going to order one. So yeah, that probably won't be seen for a while, and that's okay because it doesn't really need, I have other things I need to knit basically, but it's living in the bag she gave me, the jungle bag. So there is the C-class cardigan. All right, up next is a test knit that I signed up for. It's living in my pumpkin spice bag by Happy Little Yarns. Amy, sweetest person ever. If you don't watch her podcast, you should. She's Happy Little Yarns here on Instagram. And I'm getting ready to start the color work for a test knit for Meg Reagan. I was selected to do her dragon sweater test knit. I'll pop a photo in here. So I just have black that I dyed myself. And then this is green that I got in my Fangirl Fibers Advent. And I over dyed it a little bit to make it a little bit more dragony green. It was like a pale green. So those will be the dragons. We're going to be playing a little bit of yarn chicken, because we all know, if you've been around a while, I have very short arms. I always have to shorten the arms on any sweater that I do. And I'm already short on black yarn because I had what I had to be able to dye it black. So my plan is to do the color work, connect the body, put the body on hold, and then helical knit both sleeves, and then just put the rest into the body, and it'll probably end up being a cropped sweater, but that's okay. I have a couple of dresses that I would like to order for work that would look really cute over. And it's not due until the beginning of October, but I really want to have the color work done before I go back to work. So there's that. Okay, what's next? Movie socks. Okay, so I got a new project bag. My mom brought me this back from Africa. This fabric is called Shwe. It's traditional fabric in Africa. She had a great time. So when she got back, we decided that we were going to go see the new Garfield movie that came out. My kids really wanted to see it, but unfortunately our local theaters had already played it for so long and they quit playing it like the day after she came home. So we drove about an hour to a theater in Monette, and I started the movie here. And I got to, I think about here at the movie. And then I just started plugging away on this. And I have the heel turn done, and I'm getting ready to start the heel flap on these. I know I got this yarn at the Yarn Adventure truck in Eureka Springs when I went with Amber and my mom, but I lost the ball band. I wound up a bunch of yarn, and William was trying to be helpful, and he threw all the ball bands away, and I didn't realize it until later. So I have no clue what this yarn is, but I just know I got it off the Yarn Adventure truck. So gusset increases are done, and I am in the middle of a heel turn. Well, the heel turn is done. I'm starting the heel flap. So there's that. And this is it caked up. It's so pretty. And I'm going to make these long socks like I made a quart of socks. The cake is a mess. What else is new? My life is a mess right now, guys. But there's the cake. So I will be plugging away on these. These will be the 55 row leg. I don't know. We might do a 20 row cuff too. We'll see how much yarn I have left. Because I definitely want to have enough to maybe do like a yarn cozy and definitely square in my scrappy blanket. So those are my movie socks. And then I have one more pair of socks to talk about and then a crochet project. All right. So yesterday was July 5th, and everybody knows that when July 4th is over, July 5th starts, and that means it's basically Halloween, right? So I got my Halloween bag out that I made, just a little project bag, and I started my Mint Rain yarn. What are these called? Hang on. Witch's Breeches. This is the colorway Witch's Breeches. The green at the bottom is just a random mini that I had. So I got all of that done yesterday. I started these yesterday. So we took the kids to the playground, and the movie socks were kind of at a spot where I wasn't quite ready to do anything with them, and I really wanted to just start something kind of Halloween-y. And I know several people are rolling their eyes at me right now, but that's okay. Gretchen sent me a deal this week that was like, oh, you know, people don't actually like summer. The reason they like summer is because we got summers off as kids. They don't actually enjoy the holidays or, you know, enjoy anything. And I 100% agree with that. So, because y'all know how I feel about summer. We've talked about this. So I'm going to put a little bat stitch marker on here. See how far I get with these. As is tradition in the summer for me, I am cruising through socks. So that feels good to get some socks done because I didn't really have any sock mojo at the beginning of the year. So yeah, there we go. All right, last project. I pulled out Gimli, guys. This is a block for the Lord of the Rings blanket. I will put a photo and the maker up here. I can think of her Instagram handle, but I can't think of her actual name. He's a mess. Okay, so I was at my Nana's for 4th of July, and I realized that the kiddo this is for, Dawson, he's the youngest of my 7 cousins, and this was his graduation gift. He will be 20 October 2nd. Guys, I have been working on this project too long. I have this block, Legolas, Merry, and Pippin left. Like, we are almost there. So I did the math. I added up, because I'm a math nerd, I added up how many rows total I have left on this blanket if I just do the 9 characters. That's without the border at the top and the bottom. I might, when I get all the character blocks done, decide that I want to go ahead and do that. But my main goal right now is just getting the 9 character blocks done. This is block 6. So I pulled it out, I did all the math, and figured out that to have all the character blocks done by the time I go back to school on August 15th, I need to do 4 to 5 rows a day. So my plan is when I'm in the middle of a block like this and it's a slog, I'm going to be doing the 4 rows and that's it. So yesterday, here's my progress keeper. This is where I was. I did 4 rows. Today, as soon as we're done, probably while I'm editing this podcast, I will do my 4 rows for today. Then when I get to the shorter rows down here where, you know, a row takes me 30 seconds, I will do 5 rows or 6 rows to kind of make up for not doing, because it was like, I need to do like 4.67 rows a day or something like that. So doing more rows at the smaller, less rows at the longer will get these done. So that is the goal. That is the plan. Let's hope I can stick with it because I really just want this done. I have a couple other crochet projects I want to do, and I am not letting myself start those until I finish this. It needs to be done. Like, that's just the long and short of it. It just needs to be done. This is silly. So, there's that. It's living in my giant knitting backpack my mom got me for Christmas a couple years ago. I love it. She got it on Amazon. Okay, so that is all the fiber content that I have to show you. Sewing, the only thing I've worked on are those bags, like I said at the beginning of the episode, so I'm not going to rehash those. So let's talk about books. If you are just here for the fiber content, I will see you later in 2 weeks, and hopefully I have a lot more to show you when I come back. So bye. Okay, let's talk books. All right. So I listened to Nevermore Bookstore by Kerrigan, Byrne, and Cynthia St. Aubin. This is one of those I totally judged a book by its cover. So I'll pop a photo in of the cover here. I just assumed by looking at this and kind of skimming over the back that this was going to be like a vampire paranormal romance type of thing. It's not. It's a contemporary romance, but by the time I figured that out, I had gotten too far into the story and I kind of wanted to finish it, especially since the best friend of the main character, the main female character, owns a knitting shop, and she gets mad at somebody and threatens to stab them with knitting needles. And I'm like, you know, I need this girl in my life. So if you've ever read a book for a side character, that's what I did. I listened to it on Hoopla, but I listened to the book. I liked it. The main male character kind of drove me nuts. He's very wishy-washy. And that just kind of bothered me. So, but there's a reason I don't listen to or read a lot of contemporary romance books. I like my paranormal. If it can happen in real life, I kind of don't want to read about it, you know? It's enough of a dumpster fire going on outside. I don't need to have that in my reading as well. So, I also listened to the Vampire Knitting Club. Now, guys, I got this off of Hoopla again, and it had the first 3 books in a set, so I could use 1 credit and get 3 books. So I was like, awesome. I got through the first book, and it was okay. I liked it. As an avid reader of romance and smut, I had a hard time because the characters, the vampire character and the main female character didn't get together, and that really bothered me. I know they end up together because I happened to start one of the spin-off series and got a spoiler. Sorry if I just spoiled that for you. But I started the second book and I got, I think, a quarter of the way through it, and I DFN'd it. Guys, I could not finish it. It was driving me nuts. So I was like, you know what? Yes, it's paranormal. Cozy mystery is what they call it. Those just aren't for me. I was getting bored. I was thinking about other things and not paying attention to the narrator while I was listening to it. I have tried these now on Kindle and on audio, so that kind of tells me that I'm good. So I gave it a try. Not my thing. If it is yours, I apologize. I also finished book 2 of the Zodiac Academy series, and I'm about 35% way through book 3. So here's what's happening with Zodiac. I have switched over to Kindle Unlimited to read these, and that's helping. That's helping me get through them. The audio I was having a hard time with, which is funny, but I do that sometimes where I have to switch between the two. I'm reading these books could have been broken up. Like, these books could have been, she could have written, or there's 2 sisters. They could have written like a 22 book series instead of a 9 book series and just chopped these books up and made them shorter. So I get to a part where I feel like it could have ended, and then I like stop reading and I go read something else, and then I come back. But I'm getting through them. I told you guys this was going to take me a long time. And I am still enjoying them. These books have a lot of angst and a lot of drama, and sometimes I just need something else. So I will go and I will read something else that's shorter, that's, more of an instant gratification. Like, you're knitting 3 or 4 sweaters, and then you're like, oh, I think I'm going to knit a dishcloth or something, that I just get that instant gratification from finishing it. So these books are a bit harder for me to get that instant gratification from. So I will get them done when I get them done. So let's see. Life and junk. Not a whole lot to say. Summer school is over. William is doing better. We are still having fits, but they aren't as violent as they have been. Still getting disappointed, still pouting, still throwing fits, but he's not hitting me. He's not throwing my glasses, not throwing things at me. He is still throwing things, but typically they are just at the floor. And I'll take that. A lot of times I've learned with kids with ASD, and really just kids in general, it's a 2-step forward, 1-step back process. So you're making progress, but it's slow. So the first week has gone by well. Hopefully these next 2 weeks will go by well as well. I've tried to fill days with things. We have a bit of a schedule. We're still keeping to close to our wake up time, close to our bedtime type of situation. Though today, like I said, he woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And for me, 5 o'clock comes once a day, and it's in the evening. So we did that, and we went and saw some fireworks at my aunt's church, and that was fun. That's an environment that is really good for my kids because we've been going there since Jade was really little, so everybody knows my kids. So if they start to get upset or they start to melt down, people are used to that with that group of people, that church, and so it's just normal for them. If Jade or William gets upset, it's not a big deal. Whereas other large events like that, if they melt down, it is a big deal. So we did that. We go into the pool a lot. That's about it. My Fitbit broke. My mom had a great time in Africa. I was really excited for her. She had so much fun, and I will be shocked if she doesn't go back next year. She already misses those kids she worked with, and she just had a lot of fun. And I really think that's about it. At this point, I'm just rambling. I want to show you guys this. I guess this is technically Yarny content, but I didn't grab it. So I bought these at Eureka Springs. They're Yarn Dragon fibers in the colorway Flower Fields. They are sock weight. These are going to be I think salty air tea is what I decided on these. So this is going to be cast on pretty soon because Mom and I were going to do a couple of short sleeve fingering weight sweaters this summer to wear when we go back to work in the fall, because Mom will be starting at a new job and I will be going back to work. So we thought it'd be fun to have a couple of knitted tops to be able to wear. And it's way too hot here to be wearing anything like this in August. I'm basically wearing this today because I don't feel well. So yeah, but that's about it. So I hope you guys are doing well and that you are healthy, happy, and safe and having a great summer, even if you hate it like I do. We're almost there. We have like, I don't know, 8 weeks until September. We can do it. So I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.